So how do we solve something like x plus 3 over x equals 4? Well, what I would recommend, or the little phrase I like to use, is we want to clear out the denominator. Okay, so we want to pick something to multiply through by so that we can get rid of that variable that's trapped in the denominator. Okay, so in this case, I want to get rid of this x, so I'm going to multiply by x every single term, all the way across it. Okay, so in that way, in front here, we'll end up with x squared. The x's on the middle cancel, so we're left with a 3. And on the far right, we have a 4x. Since it's a quadratic, or an x squared, we want to get the equation set equal to 0. So subtract 4x both sides. Okay. Then at this point, we either have to factor or use the quadratic formula to solve for x. So in this problem, it's nice, we can factor x minus 3, x minus 1. So that's telling us that solutions could be x equals 3 or x equals 1. Okay? However, any time that we multiply through by a variable, okay, we have to check our answers. Because it's possible that we introduce an extraneous solution. Okay, it's possible. Doesn't mean we do, but could. And I just always think of that big fancy word extraneous as extra. It could be an extra solution. So do a quick check, and then you should be fine. So like if we check x equals 3. So we'd have 3 plus 3 over 3. Does that equal 4? 3 plus 1 is 4. Okay, so the 3 checks. Then we check the 1. Okay, plug it in. 1 plus, excuse me there, 3 over 1. Does that equal 4? 1 plus 3 is 4. Again, that's okay. So both answers check, so they're okay. All right, second example. I have x plus 1 over x plus 4. All right, so this time, to clear out your denominators, let's multiply through by x plus 4. Okay, and again, the goal is to clear out the denominator to make it nicer for us to solve. Okay, so here we're going to have, we need to distribute the x, so x squared plus 4x. The x plus 4 cancels, which is what we wanted. And on the other side, 0 times anything is still 0. And again, we end up here with a quadratic. So we want to try to solve this one. So unfortunately on this one, we're not going to get something nice to check. So we have to go through and do the quadratic formula. So remember, little a is 1, b is 4, c is 1. So we'd have negative 4 plus minus the square root of 4 squared minus 4 times 1, all over 2 times 1. Okay, so if we keep going, inside of here it comes out 16 minus 4, which is the square root of 12, all over 2. Okay, so then if you simplify that down, in 12 you've got the square root of 4 and the square root of 3, so negative 4 plus minus 2 radical 3 all over 2. And if we were to factor a 2 out of that, you're dropping down here at negative 2 plus minus the square root of 3. Okay? Exact answer, that's okay. If you run this into your calculator, you could also get 0.268, or the other way, 3.732. Okay? And all those are valid answers for x, whether it be exact or the approximate. Okay, so there's a couple of examples. Let's do another one. Okay, and again, just maybe adding to what could happen as we're solving. Okay, so this is example 3. Let's try 2x over x minus 1 plus 1 over x minus 3 equals 2, and it's all over x squared minus 4x plus 3. Okay, So in this situation, with this complicated denominator set, the first thing you're going to want to do is see if this trinomial will factor. And in this case, you get x minus 3, x minus 1. Okay? And a lot of times, not always, if you're stuck, you can peek back to these denominators, and sometimes you're lucky and it just happens to work out that way. Okay, so to clear out our denominators this time, we have to multiply by both of these factors. So an x minus 1 and an x minus 3 multiplies at every term. Okay? So then we reduce and then multiply the leftovers. So in this case, the x minus 1 cancels, so you're left with 2x times x minus 3. The x minus 3 cancels, you're left with 1 times x minus 1. And down at the end, the whole thing goes away, so you're left with just a 2. Okay, so now this looks like a more manageable equation to solve, so we'll distribute first 2x squared minus 6x plus x minus 1 equals 2. Combine like terms, so 2x squared minus 5x minus 1 equals 2. And finally, we'll get this set equal to 0. So 2x squared minus 5x minus 3 is equal to 0. Okay? So in this case, we want to factor now, okay? Or at least give it a shot. Okay? So most of you do the slide divide bottoms up. So we'll slide over here. So x squared minus 5x minus 6 equals 0. Okay, looks like we'll factor x minus 6, x plus 1. Okay, and I'm running out of space here, so maybe we'll come up here a little bit. Need a longer board. All right, so I'm at x minus 6, x plus 1. Okay, we had multiplied by 2, so I'm going to divide. If it reduces, reduce. So x minus 3. If not, bottoms up. Okay, and if you factor in a different fashion, not a problem. All right, so we have potential solutions, x equals 3 or x equals negative 1/2. Okay, so again, must check your answers. You have to. All right, so take this 3 back to the original. Okay, well, look right here. If you put a 3 here, 3 minus 3 is 0. Can you have a 0 in a denominator? You know the answer to that. Absolutely not. Okay? And if I check my negative 1/2, and again, I'm kind of out of space, you're going to actually find that this one works. Okay? So that one is an okay answer. All right? We're probably getting close on time, but I could show you here one more example. And again, it's just got a little bit of a factoring piece in it. So for example 4, we have 3 over x squared plus 3x, x plus 2 over x plus 3 equal to 1 over x. Okay? So again, check your denominators. If something will factor, you factor it first. Like here, we have an x in common. Okay? So then if you compare your denominators, in order to clear them out, if we multiply by x times x plus 3, it will absolutely do the job. And that would be of clearing out those denominators. Okay? So in the first position, okay, we will cancel here. X and x plus 3 leaves us just 3. Plus x plus 3's cancel, so we're left with x times x plus 2. And down at the end, the x's cancel, you're left with an x plus 3. Okay, so in continuing here, we will distribute the x, so x squared plus 2x. Okay, then we want to collect like terms, get everything same side so that we're set equal to 0. All right, so I'm going to say x squared. If I subtract an x on both sides, that leaves you with a plus x. And then if I subtract 3, oh, look at that. That goes to 0. Okay? So I'm left with an x squared plus x. I would factor. So x equals 0 or x equals -1. Okay, so doing a quick check, x equals 0, if I put a 0 here, that's going to fail. Cannot divide by 0. And if you trust me and you check x equals -1, that one should be okay. So we have one extraneous root here. Okay, I hope that was helpful, and enjoy solving your equations in one variable. Thanks for watching.